So the next theme that I wanted to share is a theme that has become very close to my heart. It's always touched me very deeply, which is about freedom, pursuing freedom, and having the courage to fly and just to find our own freedom and happiness. And it has resonated with me so much because just recently after I sent Ghada Samman, the author in Paris, I sent her the poems and the book. She called me up one day. I was sitting writing my dissertation quietly, and it was just such a surprise to hear her voice, because most of our correspondence has been through fax and writing letters. And she said to me, "Thank you very much. I love the project," and things like that. But then I said to her, "In your previous letter, Ghada, I was just very taken aback because you wrote me and said, well, I just had an accident where an elevator had fallen in Paris. It just completely dropped, and some people died, but I managed to escape with only a broken arm." And I was just so happy to find out that the project is done that I wanted to write you, and I'm writing you a letter in my left hand. And so I said, you wrote that so casually, and you just had this huge accident. And she said over the phone, "Reem, what difference does it make? A broken heart, a broken arm. It's all the same. You just, when life brings you down and your wings are broken, I grow them again. And I force myself to fly because that's what I need to do. And you have to promise me you're going to do the same thing because this is my motto." And at that moment I just said, you don't just write words, you live by the words you write. And so a lot of these poems I feel are just kind of pretty much her motto, and some writers write something and they live by something else. But so these poems have become very close to my heart, and I'd like to share them with some of them with you tonight. I'll start with the one on page 7, A Lover Exiled into Freedom. If you were an astronaut, I would invite you to my moon. At the airport, Sindbad, the Rock, the Jinni, the Shatir Hassan, and the rest of his friends would all greet you. Aladdin would give you his magic lamp and flying carpet. And I would tell you the story of a woman whose wings they tried to clip. In the dark, she secretly bled. But from that day, she learned to soar, like you. From that day, the open space became her prison, and freedom her exile. And the next one is A Young Girl's Most Precious Possession, page 9. My sadness is a lonely cedar on a mountain peak, not a successful actress on a Shakespearean stage. My sadness is a concealed light that shines through the trees' fingertips, not a fire that comes towards us. My sadness is my secret garden, lying at the depths of my soul. Sadness is the most precious possession a woman has, like freedom, and I will not share them with you. I can share with you a loaf of bread and a cottage, but as for freedom and sorrow, my heart alone fetters them like death. Page 14, this is a short one, A Letter of Faithfulness. When I met you, I was a tortoise, skilled in the art of retreat and camouflage. When I bid you farewell, I became a swallow whose wings will forever remind her of you. And a similar one on page 17. Love is the art of parting. I am happy because you're alive and desirable, still capable of seducing women. For between you and me, there is a love that mastered the art of separation, and therefore survived. The most beautiful thing about our love is our mutual betrayal, for it brings us closer. Through it, we become aware of our longings for one another in the forests of mirrors and lovers. We run to one another, fleeing with our childhoods, their fragilities and wounds, like two children who are friends in life's orphanage. Between you and me exists a state of love that is beyond temporality, a love that is broken by nothing except obtuse adherence. You foolish lover, let our meetings be a fireworks festival, and let our partings be a similar euphoria. For the appetite to fly is the difference between moth wings in dark closets and wings of butterflies soaring over the forests and below the sun. In vain you cling to me, transfixing me on your wall with the pin of love so that I can stay. Yet like any other butterfly, I will flee, leaving my golden pollen over your fingers. Year after year, I have learned how to transform myself from an Arab woman into winds that cannot be imprisoned by bars. And the day I leave, I will give you 2 wings, so that you may visit me in my tent, which is located on the orange street of cosmic space, a place where glimmering ether replaces domestic dust. Until we meet again, don't reminisce about me.